Hey, this is Elliot Wave Sage. I want to go ahead and do a market update. Like always, none of this is financial advice. Always do what's best for you. So the market rallied today and is showing that there's still a lot of liquidity ready to be deployed to buy the dip. And I believe that behavior is not going to change no matter the news from the CPI report. If the news is negative and we dump, it's just another buying opportunity. And I would expect that to reverse. And again, and if not, it could already be running into the news event and follow through. So my guess is right now where the market is, if you look at where the Dow is on the 4-hour, you have two RSI peaks. One is lower on the right. This could be another flat correction that's finished right now, and it could be ready to start its 3 of 3 moment on its way to at least 3,000 points higher. Hard to believe that, but I believe that's what's going to happen. Now, the other alternative is we go down a little bit more and we tag this trend line, which is about another, if we look here, it looks like about 500 points down. So let me see here, make sure I get that right for you guys. Probably, yeah, it's a little more than 500. Looking at it again here, it looks like it's more, yeah, maybe it's about 500 here. Yeah, about 500 points, 400 points. So that's still in play. So there is no good confirmation yet for trading the indices, although we could, again, we could be done the 4 here in a 1-2. Or if we look at the 4-hour, it looks like it's done already here, finished its correction here, and then this is just a truncated move down. So you have here, you have your 4 and your A, your B, and a C. Again, another kind of flat, but this doesn't look good for that flat. So in fact, this one I would be worried about a dip to 435, and then the Qs usually would dip with that down into this area of 359, 357. So I think the SPY and triple Qs show a possible dip, come in, another dip, taking place. And the Dow looks less likely, and the IWM less likely to get any dip. So I do think that's kind of the trade setting up. It looks like the Russell and Dow want to run and take the baton from the technology trade. That's what it seems like is going to happen. So just do what's best for you. But I think that's what it looks like. But I do think everything should be still pushing higher. Qs to 390, SPY to 352, possibly as high as 460, 452, 460. Then the Dow Jones, I'm thinking 35,800, 36,000. In the IWM, I'm looking for targets of 212, 220. So there's definitely more upside left in this market. Bitcoin is still trying to figure itself out. You kind of have a megaphone type consolidation here. It could be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 super bullish pattern, which would produce an explosive move higher. The other option is it's still in a correction, still in this 2. So it's really tough to say. I can't really give you guys a good forecast. Now, this is an interesting on the RSI on the 4-hour, this peak right here on this peak, and we did make a higher high. So you could try to make an argument. You have another run-in flat here in an A, B, C, and really you put 2 there, and then you have a 1, 2 here, and then we're running. We're already up, so we don't know specifically. So the target area is if we do dump. We're looking for somewhere around 29,300, 28,900 as a potential area where it could find support, but it may not give you that opportunity. And then oil should be grinding higher, and I think we're starting to see that. Gold and silver look ready to have a move up, explode out in a wave 3. So that's a wave 3 watch, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So gold, same thing, 1 2 1 2. The dollar's really starting to break down. So this is looking good in the metals. And then the dollar index really took a dump today, 1 2, and now it's ready for its 3 of 3 moment on the downside. And then, of course, rates, tricky. You know, I think people were scratching their head because we didn't get the follow through. And if you followed me in my last video this weekend, I warned you that this was a fake out and you're going to come back and retest this in this three-wave move, because really this is too short of a correction in time to correct such a long move. It really wasn't, I don't think, ready. I think it needs another push down. So is this foreshadowing a really light CPI? It's not going to come in hot. Maybe it's going to come in more deflationary than people expected. That's what this is showing here, is potential downside in the CPI more than anyone is anticipating, and that would definitely generate the buy-in pressure that you would need, because if you get jobs being created and inflation is one, people will declare victory and everyone will finally FOMO in, and then I bet inflation, all the commodities will start to run, and then you'll have the repeat of what we did here all over again when the market tops. The VIX, you know, was green. I think it's green into the news event CPI, and people are hedging into that. So that's it pretty much on the big picture. I'll go into some specific just sectors and trades that are out there that that I'm looking at. You know, I do like energy going higher here. You know, breaking this level at 82.53 on the XLE will open up the B wave, but then it would be too big, and so then you're all of a sudden now you're starting to look at a more bullish case for energy, where this was a major low here, and we're in a 1-2 setup, and this is what the OIH is supporting. So I wouldn't be surprised that energy's already finished its correction here at 75, and it's about to come out of this consolidation pattern and come out and make its march into this area that I have highlighted. So keep an eye on it. I would not be bearish energy. You know, the OIH trade, I gave everyone this setup on Schlumberger here. The buy area we've played out in a massive wave 3 breakout, and I think this will just continue the higher, and we're about to break a massive downtrend line that's been going back all the way back to 2014. Once this breaks, you have a left shoulder ahead and now a right shoulder. This should really bring us to prices you know, much higher here, you know, somewhere around $96, $100. So, you know, almost 100% gain opportunity in Schlumberger and OIH instruments. So what is that telling me? The energy price is probably going to be supported for a while based on what I'm looking at. Nothing else caught my eye. The miners did outperform the metals. That's a good bullish sign. And I mentioned how important it was for GDX to hold the pivot, and it held, and it's rallying. I don't like that candle here on the 4-hour, but we'll see. We really need that follow through to break 31 to really start to get a squeeze out of this area. Another one to keep a watch on is MOS, Mosaic. I do like Mosaic for a massive investment opportunity. Bottom here, 26.85 if we can hit it. No guarantees that can come. So here we are, consumer staples. Nothing interesting here in this sector, nothing in discretionary. I'm starting to get some FOMO buzz around Kava, and I think it could run as a trade. It definitely could get to a new high here at 48.04. If it can do that, then I think it can run, and it will pump. It will probably, you know, 55, but it'll probably go higher than that. So keep an eye on that one, especially we're right up on this downtrend line. So this is a very tradable, could be double bottom setup here. And going into the crypto equivalent stocks, again, you know, they're very bullish. GBTC looks like it's got a setup, should be hitting this $27-$28 area. Pretty much everything, you know, Mara hitting an area that could find a top, but when I look at it, it looks like a 1-2-1-2, not a 1-2-3-4-5. So if that's the case, it will continue to extend higher, and really the next area of support is this 1918, and then it should have a pretty big pullback at that point. And then it's the same thing. It never quite made it to the ideal entry. That's why you have to be more aggressive with these more bullish sectors. And now you have a 1-2, and now you're breaking out in wave 3 as well. And really the next area of resistance is around $22. So these are pretty bullish instruments. And then, you know, financials and transportation, we're going strong today, and I expect that to continue as the Russell moves higher. Healthcare had a lot of strength today, and then but nothing there. Now technology was red. We did have some red in technology today, and I did like a dip buy in Tesla. I think it could still grind lower, but it does look like it gives a really good setup opportunity to get into this 300, 320, maybe 350 area. And what if it is another 1-2-1-2 setup, and you could be missing out on a 3 of 3? So there is an extension chance. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen, but there's always a possibility. So this is a dip buy area, and if we literally look at it, you have 3 waves up, and then you have 1, 2, 3 down, a connector, 1, 2. You probably need one more push lower. It may hit the 262 to fill this gap, and then start its move higher. I do like that. And then a lot of these other mega caps also could offer opportunities. But looking across the market, you know, Mercado Libre is another one that has an opportunity for a dip buy. I think it needs one more swing lower, but I like that for a trade in this area, 1,009 on the high 900s, for a potential bounce out of, you know, a trade here. That's a good one that I want to mention. And I don't have anything else. So you can see, I don't like buying into strength like this. Should have bought on the sell-offs. So there's really no other good opportunities. Fisker is running. I think Fisker has opportunity to pump pretty significantly now that it's finished. It looks like it's finished this massive downward correction. It broke out of the downtrend, so it should probably come back to $13-14 at some point as this plays out, potentially even new highs. So just keep that in mind for Fisker. That was a breakout today. And then Qqq is another one that looks like it's about to break out. That also will show you the Russell's about to pump. And this next target area, really, you know, I think it would go beyond 50. I think really the next area would be somewhere around the high 50s, a $60 area for Qqq. And then the China tech looks pretty good. You know, Baba, you know, didn't really react from all that positive news. So still kind of not sure, but if again look at that left shoulder head, looks like a right shoulder forming, and that should get you to 170. I think this is a pretty nice looking setup, especially into a weak dollar, good emerging market. China looks like it's holding its pivot, so it looks pretty good. So that's something. And of course NEO is coming out of its correction, and we've been following that. If you've been following me, you would have been able to pick that up if you wanted to. And that was probably a good long-term investment opportunity for strong buyers. And then DraftKings even broke out today, broke out of its double bottom, and now it's in pretty much an area of really not a lot of resistance. I could see it running all the way up to $43, $40 from here. Before it finds some resistance. But as you know, the fractal DraftKings, when it starts to run, I mean, it goes essentially vertical, so there's no telling. It could come all the way back up into the $60 area before you know it. All right, guys, that's all I've got today's update. So I think the news event is really irrelevant. It's either if it sells off, we'll get another sell-off. It'll be just a reversal, buy the dip, fake out, and then if it runs, you should have already bought, or you know, when I was telling you guys to buy last week. and you just should be making money right now. But I think right now it's kind of sidelines and let the market react. But I do think if you do get this sell-off and push in tech down and push the SPY down, then I would be looking to pick up some more things for this push higher. All right, guys, that's all I have.